Hello, and welcome once again to my mental monologue. It is I, Shelby Lee Kyles, your host. Today, once again, I am here with Chris. Introduce yourself, Chris.
It is I once again, Chris, the speaker of the wisdom.
Groovy. Today, we're talking about aliens, where they come from, do they even exist, and what are they exactly? And I know this is a topic that's like far off from what I usually talk about. Usually it's about something that has to do with America, political stuff, and just personal issues of humanity. So this still has to do with that same course because aliens is a subject that always comes up no matter what culture and no matter, you know, where you come from. So, Chris, what is your opinion on aliens?
Me personally, I think they are rather heavily involved and have been heavily involved with the human species since it basically inception, possibly to the point of them being the origin of our inception. That leap from simple primate hominid to a sentient being.
Hmm. Now, with that being said, are you speaking more of the Egyptians, the Greeks, or what are you thinking about? Because most people say, especially in that ancient alien show, they're always talking about civilization getting kind of steals from the gods, where they're actually aliens in their mind, and so where do you think the earliest influence from alien contact came from?
I think a lot of the god worship of cultures like ancient Egypt, Sumeria, and other places like that are, pardon the interruption from the phone call, but I think that the ancient cultures that worshipped gods that could be seen as aliens, those stories are actual events that happened in extraordinarily early human history. I think the alien involvement could be almost exclusively just evolving us to sentient hominid, and then our interactions with them at that point are passed down through oral tradition and over thousands of years become distorted by the natural human tendency to embellish stories, and then those stories are worked into each religion that we know today.
I kind of agree, and reason why I kind of agree because my belief system is kind of vast. Vast knowledge on because I researched the lot of. I mean, I almost became a minister by doing tests and stuff and studying the Bible constantly and Buddhism. I studied the Hebrew uh, faith, which I've studied a lot and try to practice. A lot of different gods and cultures is an obsession of mine. So, with that being said, I focus in on certain things where the gods seem like they could be aliens. And one of the main things I always carry on about is Zeus. Zeus is a Greek god, lightning, thunder god. Everybody knows this. The father of all gods. Not really of, and the people want to know where Zeus came from. Kronos is his father, and he was a Titan. But my main thing is this, he's a lightning god, and then here he was a Greek god, and that's what he was called, Zeus. But in Rome, he was called Jupiter. And the whole planet Jupiter, as we know, is a planet, and the planets were all named after the gods. The Greeks stole all the Rome, or the Romans stole all the Greeks' faith and changed it around to their names. So, instead of Aphrodite, you got Venus. Instead of Mars, or Aries, you got Mars, and so on and so forth. But the point I'm trying to make is this: okay, how did they know way back then that a person came from Jupiter? Because the planet, yes, it has Zeus's name, okay, but yet there's scientific proof that it has constant lightning storms. So how did they know that way back in ancient time of Greece that this god came from a planet with lightning. That's proof of alien contact or alien interference, if you ever, could think of one. Another one is a war that the Hindu people say happened in the heavens with their gods. They sat there and they watched the war happen in the sky, and things blew up. And I think that is some proof of uh, how can I say alien war that was witnessed by primal people. And another thing that comes close to what you're saying, Chris, is this. Okay, I believe when the flood happened, before predated floods, they say the Nephilims came, slept with men. slept with the daughters of men, and saw that they were beautiful and had wives with them, had kids, and gave birth to the Nephilim. Well, with those stories, the Nephilim are supposed to be giants. They're supposed to be creatures that's not from this earth, that was made from angels. Now, with Greek mythology, you got multiple creatures that are fused together, or what they call hybrids, or fusors, is what I said. So
Alien human hybrid.
right. And so, with me saying that is, you got to think there's only 8 survivors, if I'm correct. Let's see, Noah, his son, his 3 sons, and then their 3 wives and Noah's wife. So what is that? That's three. Yeah, there's 8 people. So my point is this, okay? Those people, they had to have some history of prehistoric life before the flood, or we wouldn't know anything about Adam and Eve. It's just plain and simple. We wouldn't know who Adam and Eve was. We wouldn't know Cain. We wouldn't know nothing about Seth or any other sons of going down from Adam's bloodline, and we wouldn't know none of that. So we know it because someone documented it. And so when you say someone documented, you got to think that they were writing down things that they saw, and then they moved on to 3 different areas. Like Africa is the nation of Ham, and that's the first son of Noah. Sham or Sham or something is that Asian culture, and then the other culture, Jijuhabi or however you say his name, okay, is the Caucasian culture. So, with that being said, each one of them went off and started these cultures. Who's to say they didn't bring knowledge of what they saw? Like they wrote it down in their journal, like, oh, I seen my neighbor today. He's 9 feet tall. He fought with this guy over an ox. You know what I'm saying? Or something of that nature. So those, I know it kind of goes off from the alien thing, but I'm just saying that it's tied together with the gods, which ties everything together if you believe in the gods being a part of the universe. And one more thing about the Greek culture, faith, which I will leave out after this, is the word universe. It's 2 words put together. Una meaning one, and verse meaning like you sung a verse or there's a verse you read. You put it together, it means one word. So it ties together with Christianity. And so, with that being said, that means that the gods are actually angels. You know, if you look at it, angels had contact with men, so it all makes sense. The verse, the planets, the days of the week are even named after God. So we have multiple contact with beings outside of this planet. Who's to say the aliens aren't them?
Well, and I'm almost certain, and it's been proposed by quite a number of theorists, that there are not only a vast number of different species of alien interacting with us, some are hostile towards us, and some are benevolent towards us, helping us defend from the hostile ones due to our just simple lack of knowledge. In the same way a human would, uh, I guess, pull pick up a snail off the sidewalk and move it onto a leaf as so it doesn't get stepped on by another human.
I like that analogy. Kind of like
The
that fish
snail
analogy.
is absolutely unaware of what is really happening. All it knows is it suddenly has moved in its mind hundreds of miles in an instant.
But that one little act from another creature or being could be godlike to something that.
Well, yeah. It carries over, and you're a god to a snail. and it can't perceive any of your actions. It's impossible for a snail to realize even that you have picked it up, I think, other than it will retract into its shell and hide. The same way we could never truly fully be aware of alien influence over us, it would seem. Natural disasters could simply be the breath or the sneeze of something we're totally unaware of.
I like that. Even though I believe natural disasters are shifting spirits on the earth. Like
What's to
I'm,
say the alien isn't a spirit? It could be a spirits might be a multi-dimensional alien life form.
but to me, my belief system, and I don't care if anybody else in the world believe it or not, the planet itself has its own spirit, has its own soul, its own spark. You think about it, being a human, being anything that's alive on this planet is amazing because we have energy that lasts us for years. We're like a freaking nuclear power plant that walks around all day running our mouths and starting shit. So, I just think that the planet itself is alive, and we gotta honor, the thing that gave us all life. You know, so I would believe that. That being said, that the planet itself has other things, because like humans, we got all kinds of viruses and things we fight off. Well, maybe there's something that comes every now and then that ain't supposed to be there, and the planet's got to find ways to regulate,
Hey, you
arrange it.
eat some bad chicken, you get the shits.
So, with that being said, aliens can be a thing that actually is something that comes across the Earth constantly, and the Earth got to fight it off. But in some cases, some of the stuff that comes is good, like oxygen for us. The oxygen outside and stuff. So I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking.